Hey guys, welcome to the Emergence podcast, a podcast that aims to empower fitness professionals through candid conversations about building sustainable minds, bodies, and businesses. I'm your host, Laura Gunder, ex-professional ballet dancer turned classical Pilates instructor based in New York City, sharing my insights from a decades-long journey navigating an industry with no set path to success. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey guys, welcome back to another walk episode. Last week we had one of my closest friends, Stephanie Krempa, on Emergence, and we had such a fun conversation, kind of going back to our time together at Equinox, her kind of history and story as a trainer, athlete, and her kind of evolution as a coach and her thoughts and kind of outlook on fitness as kind of a whole picture rather than just specific components. We focused a lot kind of on nutrition and fitness and wellness as kind of zooming out and looking at everything as kind of interconnected rather than just kind of thinking about one aspect at a time, but how everything kind of works in kind of an ecosystem. And if one thing's out of balance, it's going to affect the other things, which I know we all know, but sometimes it's easy to forget and we get kind of too close-minded or maybe too focused on one aspect, and then we forget to look at other external factors that may be affecting us not reaching our nutrition goals, not reaching our personal goals. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, in terms of taking care of yourself and making sure that you're being honest with your energy expenditure and really kind of zooming out and making sure that you are keep checking in with yourself. Yeah. So in all transparency, I have been pushing super hard recently, and I was talking to some people and they were like, you need to take your own advice, Laura," which I'm human and I haven't, and I have a tendency to push past my boundaries. And I think it goes very deep into a lot of different stuff. I don't know if people can resonate, but I feel like, like ex people pleaser, kind of never feeling like they were good enough, type A kind of person, has always kind of gotten through life in survival mode, and then just always feeling like this fire burning underneath my ass, I guess you could say, to keep pushing and achieving, and that nothing's ever good enough. And that even if things are good, like we have to keep pushing and proving ourselves. And I know that a lot of people listening to this podcast are probably super ambitious, and that's amazing. And there's a superpower in that, and also super empathetic and caring and giving. And maybe you overgive to people and kind of neglect your own needs. Which I kind of have been a lot better at, but recently have been struggling with some personal health issues myself from kind of overstressing and over pushing myself and not giving myself enough downtime and rest time. And I just kind of wanted to be honest with you guys, if you do listen to these, and really make sure that if your body's giving you signals or cues that you need to slow down, that I really, really highly recommend that you listen to your body before you get sick or you get injured or something else happens to you. And not in a scary way, but just a preventative way. Like we work out to prevent, you know, using a cane when we get older, and we eat healthy because we want to treat our bodies with care and love. I think it's the same thing when we're thinking about rest and maxing out our capacities, whether that's being overly social or working out too much. That unfortunately, it is a fine balance and a fine line. And if you keep pushing past your tipping point for too long, um, unfortunately, things may happen to you that you probably could have avoided if you had just listened to your body's cues. And I know it's easier said than done. But for instance, in Stephanie's episode, she sprained her ankle, and it kind of really made her zoom out and step back and kind of think about, how she was approaching exercise, and also made her grateful for just being able to move prior to her accident, and kind of reframed and give her more empathy to her clients who maybe couldn't do what she could do. And I think that sometimes we're always focusing on, or I'm always focusing on, what I can do better, how I can be better, more, more, more. And sometimes I think it's important that we sit down and just look at where we are and look of how far we have come. And yeah, and don't take that for granted, because nothing stays the same forever, right? And even if things are really, really good right now, there's always life kind of really humbles you. And I think it's important that we stay grounded in the good and the bad. And that's something that I've recently been reminded of. So, yeah, that's something I kind of wanted to talk about. I think that's important that we talk about as instructors, because there can be some really, really high highs, or some really profitable months, and some lower months. And I guess it's important to be smart about conserving your energy, conserving your resources, not overspending, not underspending, but also not getting too high on that high horse, because there probably will be a dip eventually, and you want to make sure that you're prepared and level headed, and like we always talk about, have created systems that can protect you in those circumstances, so you're not causing yourself more stress or anxiety when there will be an inevitable dip. I'm not saying it has to be like some crazy low, but you want to make sure that you're prepared and ready mentally, physically, financially for those lows. So when you do need to step back and take care of yourself, or you do have a project that you want to allocate more of your time to, or some personal matter, maybe a family, maybe you have a new baby, or just like life, there's some personal things happening in your life where you need to maybe step back and not work enough. You want to make sure that you are in a place where you are grounded in not only your body, but also in your systems around you, that give you the space and peace of mind to fully take care of yourself. And that's something that I have been struggling with, because I have made those resources and boundaries, but it's kind of hard to change, obviously, patterns that we have been living with for our entire life. And to create new neural pathways is a lot of work. It's like, tearing muscles in the gym, right? Like slowly and slowly, our bodies change. It doesn't happen overnight, but it has to be like a consistent effort and failure. But we have to keep on kind of pushing, I guess, to make sure that we keep implementing those small changes. So over a larger amount of time, it creates a greater change. And yeah, I keep having these health setbacks, but I think I'm getting better at catching them sooner than later. And I really do care about you guys, because I wish so freaking bad that these conversations were talked about more when I was starting out as an instructor, because I could have saved myself thousands and thousands of dollars from doctor bills, from spending money on stupid supplements, or like, yeah, like hair growth stuff for my alopecia, just like dumb fucking shit that's like they sell you that is supposed to make you calmer, when honestly it's really not that complicated. It's just prioritizing sleep, making time to not always be running around the city, give yourself time to slow down actually and breathe. And this is something I'm trying to re-implement, and even just like some breath work into my daily routine again. And I'm lucky to have Stephanie in my life, actually, who is actually somebody I really look up to, because she really loves and cares for her body in a way that I have neglected and don't really have that same amount of kind of care and love. And she shows that through the way she is passionate about cooking food for people. And she's really good at like sleeping and resting and saying no to things. And that's something that I think, if you are like me, ex people pleaser kind of, and constantly feeling like you have to say yes and bend over backwards and show it for people, that it's going to, it's like compound interest. It will build over time, and you're the person who's going to feel the brunt of it. So, this is just your friendly reminder to slow down and reevaluate and start to pay attention to that noise in the background of your life, and some of the cues that you might be experiencing, whether that be your muscles aren't recovering as fast as they should be, or you're chronically tired, your skin is breaking out, you're always bloated, or you're just not feeling yourself, you're moodier. And these are small cues that you probably need to give yourself a little more time and space to recharge. And in the winter, it's colder anyway. So I feel like it's easier to sort of slow down and go internal and take care of yourself. But yeah, this is your friendly reminder from your anxious friend, LG, who's trying her best here and really does honestly care about you guys. And just want you to remind you that you matter too. And the only way that you're going to be able to achieve your goals in the studio, outside of the studio, and just feel the best is by making sure that you are figuring out systems and tools to make sure that you are staying healthy and happy. Because if you're not, the rest of your life is definitely going to be a lot harder than it needs to be. So take care of yourselves. I hope you guys are having a great week, and bye.